That's impressive, right? Well, that's another issue, right? It goes back to my big pharma book, right? Be honest about that. So when talking about stigmas and addiction, we have to talk about, we're going to go past the negative treatment stigmas. I want to go to the social stigmas, and I kind of camped on that for a second right there. In our society, you know, because of social stigmas, even the families are stigmatized and marginalized. Let's be honest about that. People know which families have drug users in them, and they're marginalized and stigmatized. And we talk about social stigma is strengthened by the myth that addiction is a choice, right? It is immoral, sinful, and a lack of willpower. This false belief that people can only change through punishment, coercion, or incarceration fuels that stigma, right? Addiction, once you have the problem of addiction, it's no longer a choice. And so Dr. Phil was on TV. You guys know who Dr. Phil is, right? And so they had a special on heroin addiction. I'm kind of happy. I wasn't a Dr. Phil fan, never really watched the TV show, right? So I'm watching Dr. Phil on TV, right? And a young woman who's a heroin addict, they show this little video vignette of her, you know, going to these hotel rooms and doing a few tricks, and you know, comes on, she goes on stage. And mom's out there on stage, right? And Dr. Phil says this. This woman about to come onto her stage is a junkie whore who will sell her body to anyone who will pay. I can tell when she is lying, her lips are moving. She needs to do everything I tell her to do when she comes out on the stage. And the audience goes crazy. Thank you, Dr. Phil. She comes out there with tears in her eyes. Is that therapy? Is that healing? I want to break his jaw. That's insulting. You have no idea what that woman has been through. All the shit that she's been through. And she comes on the stage asking you for help. You treat her like a piece of shit and you bully her? Are you kidding me? But the audience applaud. That plays right into that stigma, right? She's none of those things. She's somebody's sister, somebody's future wife, somebody's daughter. You need to treat her like that. Stop treating people with addiction problems like they're less than other people. And don't tolerate it in your own communities anymore. These words need to go away, right? Because these words are powerful. And they can either harm or they can heal. I want to talk about the structural stigmas. We're kind of finish up on this, all right? You guys are aware that institutions, organizations, and policies can promote and support the inaccurate views of people with chemical dependency and allows the marginalized groups, the addicts, to be ostracized, lose their civil rights, and be mistreated without consequences. And so, once again, I tell my clients before they go off to rehab, oftentimes I tell them to lie. I want them to get help. You might say, Raj, you're a really bad guy. You tell your clients to lie. Let me tell you a little story. If I told you I robbed a pharmacy with a gun, you'd say I'm a horrible person. But I said, hold on a second, let me give you the details. My sister has AIDS. We can't afford the AIDS medication. If I don't give her that medicine, she'll die. You might think of me a little bit different. So before you think of me as a bad person for telling people to lie to get help, begin to question, why should anyone have to lie to get help? Don't put that on me. My job as a social worker is to disobey things that kill people, right? And not hear nonsense. That doesn't make any sense. I'm not going to hear that. I fight for my clients. I fight against addiction, right? And it takes a toll on me too, trust me. It allows the government and different agencies to not pay for treatment, right? Because it was a choice. They chose to do that. Too many donuts, too many cigarettes. That was your choice. We're not going to pay for that. It allows insurance companies to deny or restrict coverage for treatment services in ways that would not be tolerated for any other kind of illness. Insurance will not pay for rehab if you have a court case. Doesn't that blow your mind? But it gets even worse, right? It promotes jail and prison as methods to help instead of inpatient, outpatient educational services. It allows even a Good Samaritan law, which allows a person to call for help with no legal consequences to not apply for illegal drugs in Michigan. You guys are aware of that, right? It's still illegal to call for help because they might pin you a felony drug charge for being there in the vicinity. And so many people die because they're afraid to call for help. That needs to stop. When people talk about Narcan and Narcan shots, yes?
If someone's staying in the emergency room and they're overdosing on an illegal drug, are
Yeah.
they charged with drug possession?
They have been in some states. They have been sometimes.
Yeah, isn't that a bunch of crap?
Yes, it's insane. They got rid of it for alcohol because every year in the college campuses, the people would not call for help, their friends would die, and parents got fed up, and so they got the law passed for alcohol first. But it doesn't apply to illegal drugs in Michigan.
Big bluff.
Yeah. The question is why, though? What's wrong about having an America where the common unity, the community comes first, second chances come first? Remember, I was brought back to life 14 times from Narcan. I don't say it to brag, but I was written off. I was that junkie loser that we talk about in the stigma handout here. I wasn't supposed to be anything. And now I think I'm somebody kind of good. I mean, help a lot of people. I speak the truth. My brain's not completely fried. You know what I mean? Slightly. But I can still make some good points while I'm talking, right?
Right.
And so who's to tell me, but who's to say the 15th Narcan shot, that's nope, you give him 14, that's it. We give him 12, nope, that's the last one he gets. Same thing with rehab, you only get one chance to get right. You get cancer, you get one chemotherapy run, that's it. It's stigma in politics, that's what you guys talking about. People convicted of drug crimes, like personal possession, you guys know how this works, right? In Michigan, any drug besides marijuana, 0 to 50 grams is a felony. You guys understand that, right? One Adderall in your pocket that belongs to somebody else is a felony. The residue of cocaine on somebody's mirror in the back of your car is a felony. Shouldn't a felony mean something? They're handing out felonies like candy. So what's bad about a community of all these young people that have felonies and drug charges and they begin to believe what about themselves? I tell my clients, don't believe your own hype when I get into that. You're not that. I'm this bigger. You're not that. You are a drug user who got caught using drugs. You are a future college student. You are a future father. You're a future husband. Yes.
You know what irritates me about that is, I worked with a young man in a warehouse, and his doctor overprescribed his vitamins on purpose.
Mm-hmm.
And I refer to them as chemical slaves.
Right.
People that are addicted.
Yeah.
And legal slave owners.
Right.
Are the doctor.
Mhm.
And illegal slave owners are people that are selling their vitamins to their friends.
Right.
And that's what he was doing because he didn't have medical coverage.
Mm-hmm.
His doctor deliberately overprescribed these, and he was selling them. People were aware of it, and it was like, oh, it's like,
Yeah.
it's an opiate. And he's going, and I said, Todd, you know where you're going? Just one time, one of your buddies gets caught with this like it,
Yeah.
that he doesn't have a prescription for. You're going up the river big time, just like a heroin.
Remember, but back in the days, though, people that were in the opiate groups and that got possession of drug charges were all marginalized. They were all losers. And now all of a sudden we have they're handing out these felonies like candy. They should mean something. I personally say this out loud, you shouldn't get any felony drug charge under 50 grams. That's personal usage. Doesn't make any sense to ruin somebody's life to possess one pill one time for the rest of their life and have no good job. It's very important. People convicted of drug crimes, right, cannot get student loans. You guys know this. This is powerful. You can shoot somebody in the head. You can cut the heads off of puppies. You can molest children and still get a federal loan for school, for college. Are you aware of that? But under certain drug possession charges, you might never get a federal student loan. Why is that even a thing? Going deeper. If you get caught with drugs, you lose your license for 6 months. Yeah, felony charge possession, lose your license for 6 months. You can kill somebody, molest some children, and never lose your license. Why is that a thing? I'm asking you guys rhetorically, why do we take away the license of a person that's caught with personal possession amounts of drugs and then tell them, go to NA, go to therapy, go to your meetings, go to your counselor, go to your church? They're set up to fail. They are a marginalized, stigmatized group. And when you're honest about it, what society is telling those people, because I was one of those people, you don't give a shit about it. Figure it out on your own. And without a system, without people in a support system that said, we are fed up, that's stupid, doesn't serve the greater good. Remember, in the reading that you made, the reading was so touching, to have the idea that we're going to judge our judges not based upon their ability to punish people, but based upon their ability to rehabilitate people. What are you doing to make my community better? Don't tell me how you lock everybody up that got a drug charge. That's stupid, unsophisticated. I'm not impressed with that. How'd you help that young man get back on the track to recovery? How'd you help that woman get into rehab? How'd you get her into the sobriety court program? You follow what I'm saying? And tying this into it, Receiving a felony conviction prevents people from gainful employment. It drives people with felony convictions into the underground economy. Whether it is drug dealing, prostitution, topless dancing, being a bookie, or working under the table, it destroys hope and alienates people from legitimate work opportunities. These types of jobs further fuel the cycle of addiction. The system does more damage to the person with addiction than the drugs do. They asked this African-American professor who grew up in a very tough area of Chicago. He's a very well-read and well-spoken man. They asked him, why are you so successful? How come all your friends went in and out of prison? Most of them ended up getting killed and ended up dying, becoming drug addicted. You know what he said? I didn't get caught. My record was clean. I could get a student loan because I had no drug charges. I got a federal loan for school. Never got caught. What? That's the difference. Remember, because we're families against narcotics. You know, we are the Hope Group. Hope springs eternal. Woven in the fabric of our America, we see second chances in people, right? Everybody in this room knows someone that deserves those second and third and fourth chances. This is spiritual warfare. There's going to be people out there that are going to tell you, no, we can't afford it. There's no money for it. $8 billion in Afghanistan? Oh, sorry about that. You changed the rules in the big pharma book. Oh, but see, that's because it doesn't make any sense. Keep asking why. Keep asking why. I want to thank everybody for their time and the opportunity to speak. It's my honor to do a service to everybody in this room. God bless.
Thank you.